Hey, good. I can hear you fine.
Right, right. Just wait a minute here.
Yep. I do you want me to give you 5 minutes, 2 minutes? What are you feeling?
To talk?
No, to like give you the timing warning. Do you need any warning at all from me?
Oh yeah, maybe like when 3 minutes till the end.
Perfect.
All right. I just gotta share my screen here. Share screen. Allow. All right. Is that being shared?
All good on my side.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll go ahead then. Well, welcome from the choir room at First Baptist Church of Columbia, Mississippi. I'm actually playing for a former student's wedding today, and the rehearsals here in a little bit. So I'm actually not on my campus. But as you can see, there's a picture of our chapel there. It was a very old chapel. It is, I think the date's there when it opened, and it has a Moeller organ, but it has 5.5 seconds of reverberation. So that's sort of impressive. It's very fun to play due to that. You make a lot of sound. You can get after some things. Now, from what you know about Mississippi, um, it's ranked not so great when you compare it to other states. It's about 40 to 50 and everything good. Like, you know, poverty, it's really low, or education, it's sort of low. It's one in everything bad. There's a lot of bad things, but I can explain to you why it's a land of opportunity. What can it do for you? It's We're going to be renaming the school Mississippi Christian University in 2026, but what can we do for you? That's actually our choir there, an older picture with the organ pipes in the background of our Moeller. So the first word there in Mississippi Christian University's Mississippi. That's a photo of our concert hall with a Steinway piano on the stage. We have two 7.5 foot Steinways in that hall. Um, Opportunities abound from accompanying the MC singers, and we've actually sung at National ACDA and a few regionals. We're going to Germany and Austria in 2 months to do a tour, to being in operas and musicals, or have great access to the four practice instruments. Those are good things. Those are positive. I mean, there's a little picture of our campus in the background. Area church jobs abound. There's a shortage probably everywhere. This is probably not a unique message to Mississippi College. Most of the churches around in Mississippi College area and the Jackson metro area do have pipe organs that are actually kind of nice. Not necessarily the greatest and the finest of the organs you out there, but they're rather nice. I think the big point there is we have generous scholarships, very much. The school is only $22,000 list price tuition. It's like if you go to buy a car, you used to be able to negotiate price. Well, it's only $22,000. And then, you get money for applying, you get money for your ACT, you get money for all these things. So actually, you end up spending probably $5,000 or $6,000 a year. I mean, why go into a big amount of debt when you're going to have to at some point for a master's degree or a doctorate if you choose to go on? At the undergraduate level, we can offer opportunities at a school that the singers are great. It's NASM accredited. It's a great education. But what kind of other things can we offer? Well, there's the administration building. It's a very pretty campus. It probably doesn't remind you what Mississippi would be like at all. There's trees and things. It's a Christian, means a supportive community. The school does have respect for each individual as a unique creation. Uh, Faculty and students both do that. My daughter's an art education major, and she has the pink hair and the facial piercings and tattoos, and she is as much in love as accepted as someone who came out of the Southern Baptist Church who goes there. Alumni, they're willing to help out current students. They'll go above and beyond, and attention from the professors. You do get a lot of attention from professors, not just in music. It's a very safe and clean campus. The town, there's a lot of festivals that go on. In the area, there's an airport, Whole Foods, a Costco, just like any other mid-sized metro area in the United States. There's the Capitol building, which is right next to my church. It's a rather impressive building. And, there you can look. Yeah, we have jets at the runway, and it's actually a paved runway. Can you believe it? I mean, you probably would have thought you're landing on a grass field or something like out in the a farm or something. And then university. I mean, what's the outcome? I think that's kind of, I've said that the price is sort of low. It's a pretty campus. You have good facilities. Um, what do our graduates do? I mean, they go on and they go to get placements in larger schools with assistantships and scholarships. Several cathedral musicians have come from my studio, which is good, and an opera conductor. Somebody's going to Carnegie Hall to conduct Carlisle Floyd's music in June. You can become a pastor. I've had one student who was an organ major, BM, MM, went on to be a pastor. So whatever you feel like doing, support all that. Great. Organ tours, a yearly tradition. We visit a metro area in the United States and we play about 14 to 20 pipe organs in a week. If you're on Instagram, you can go to Pipe Organ of the Day. That is my site. There's about 8,000 followers. And it showcases all the instruments that we've seen over the 25 years. We've probably played 400 or 500 instruments. It's great. In addition to chapel, there's another molar practice instrument, a Reuter tracker, that's the Reuter tracker, if you didn't even know Reuter made them. And then 2 Allen organs with Hauptwerk, so you can create different kinds of sounds. There are the organ tours. There are alumni in their 20s and 30s and 40s that return. And I think the question is, why do they return? Why would they want to return? And I think it's just to recapture some of the environment that they have whilst at the school. I mean, I'm supportive and personable. I always look out for the best interest of my students. I mean, it's not what you can do for my career. I'm pretty much set. Mississippi, great. But it's where I can have you go. And I think that's the important thing to me. It's where can you go? We do have a low cost. I think that's important. And the success, the graduates, which you can contact me privately for at NUPP, KNUPP at mc.edu if you want some more information. So are there any questions at this point?
I have some
Well,
I have some pre-sent questions but if anyone has
sure.
a question in the room, please jump in now. A pre-sent in question was, what is the community like in the studio? Is it more collaborative? Is it more competitive? What's the vibes?
Relaxed. Everyone's on their own musical journey, and you don't have to compete with anybody for that. You need to be the best version of yourself.
And you mentioned there were a series of job opportunities. Are there internships or assistantships at local churches, or is it like you kind of have
Well, it varies.
connections?
There's the Episcopal Cathedral has an internship. There are jobs right now open in Episcopal churches. There are in Methodist churches, Presbyterian church. The opportunities really abound because there's a real shortage in the area of
And
people.
yeah, yeah, thank you. And then the other one I have is, are there opportunities for like interdisciplinary work as well, like maybe conducting, early music, composition?
The composition professor is also an organist. The conducting, we have a new master's degree that integrates choral conducting and organ into it. So those kinds of things, we're very collaborative in the school. All the faculty get along, which isn't the case everywhere, sad to say, but it is where I am. I think because we're just supportive and we're small enough and we're in Mississippi and we know that we have to help our students go places.
Well, thank you very much. Is any other questions as we wrap up with Mississippi College, soon to be renamed?
Soon to be
Hey,
renamed.
sorry, guys. What town?
It's in a town called Clinton, which is about 10 miles to the west of Jackson.
Okay. It's a
That's about 30,000.
4-year liberal arts college.
We actually have a master in music program also.
Okay.
It's about 5,000 students.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think my time is over and I shall go to my wedding rehearsal. Thank you.
Enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we have the University of Toronto. The time and the floor is yours.
Thank you. I'm just going to get my screen share going. Okay. So hello everyone and welcome to the virtual University of Toronto booth at this AGO Pedagogy Conference College Fair. By way of introduction, my name is Aubrey Kelly. I'm part of the undergraduate admissions and recruitment team here at the University of Toronto Faculty of Music, or U of T Music for short. And I'm joined by my wonderful colleague, Dr. Kevin Komisaruk, professor of organ and harpsichord and program director of the Interdisciplinary Music Studies program, which you'll hear more about shortly. To give you a brief overview, U of T's Faculty of Music is recognized as Canada's leading institution for higher education in music and is internationally renowned for academic and artistic excellence in music performance, education, composition, and research. The University of Toronto is consistently ranked as the #1 university in Canada and among the top 25 in the world. Very proud of that, of course. And within the university, the Faculty of Music is the smallest division or faculty. We have about 900 students in total, 600 at the undergraduate level, and about 300 at the graduate levels. Some of the highlights of studying music at U of T include our location being in the heart of Toronto. This means that our students have access to endless sources of inspiration from the amazing music and art scene that our city has to offer. One of the things that we are most proud of at U of T Music are our exceptional faculty and instructors. I just referenced our city's music scene. Well, as you can imagine, our faculty are, many of them are busy professional performers and educators working within the scene in Toronto and beyond. And so, of course, they are well positioned to mentor the next generation of musicians and to connect them with opportunities. And at U of T Music, we are really proud to foster a close-knit community and a supportive environment among our students, faculty, and staff. Also noted here are our outstanding facilities. And to this point, I will share that the music library, which is housed in our building, is the largest music research collection in Canada and has been recognized as one of the top 5 music libraries in North America. So also very proud of that. And after talking through my next few slides, I will pass the mic over to Kevin and let him tell you about the organs that U of T music students have access to as practice and performance instruments. This slide shows the undergraduate music degrees that we offer. So a Bachelor of Music and Performance and a Bachelor of Music. Within the Bachelor of Music, there are several specialization options. Music education and composition, I think are pretty self-explanatory. History, culture, and theory is a program that's really geared for students who are interested in the research side of music. And then interdisciplinary music studies is a very exciting newer program offering, and it is the most flexible music degree that we offer, designed for multifaceted students who seek variety in their musical studies, and it supports them in tailoring the curriculum to their individual interests and goals. And as I mentioned, Kevin is the program director for this program, so I'll let him speak a bit more about it shortly. Additional programs at the Faculty of Music. So we have some certificates and diplomas at the undergraduate and post-bachelor level. Also an array of offerings at the Master of Music and Master of Arts levels, as well as doctoral levels, Doctor of Musical Arts, DMA, and PhD. And for the timeline, I'm sure this is fairly standard. Applications must be submitted by late 2025 or very early in 2026. Auditions and interviews take place throughout February and into early March, and then results will be shared in the spring. And that covers what I wanted to. I know our time together is brief. So website and contact information is listed on the slide here. I think, shall I leave this up or maybe I'll stop sharing and pass the mic over to Kevin. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Aubrey. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone, and thanks so much. U of T is an exciting school in an exciting city. We have a long history of organ and a long history of church music baked into the DNA of the Faculty of Music. It was originally created in essence as a school to create church musicians. Anywhere from Haley Willen, Ernest McMillan. We have a long history in the history of the school of organists as embedded in the school and in the whole concept behind it of fostering personal and professional flourishing. Our organs also have carry a lot of history. We have a number of really interesting instruments on campus. We have a four manual 77 stop symphonic Casavan in Convocation Hall, which is right there. And so Con Hall is where all the graduations take place, and we have this big, beautiful beast in that hall. It's one of the teaching instruments, a few other teaching instruments. Roy Thompson Hall, which is where the Toronto Symphony performs, is one of my instruments as well for teaching and student practice, which is a more of a neo-Baroque style instrument by Gabriel Ney. We have a modified mean tone instrument, a 17th century a copy of a Swedish instrument in Knox College that was built by Helmut Wolff in 1991, and that is just next to just next to Con Hall that way. And so this is all right on campus, a beautiful instrument tracker, suspended action with a neo-Baroque two manual Brunzima Casavan in our building. That's got 28 stops and a Leitorno two manual practice organ with 10 stops. So the vibe is one of mentorship and encouragement, community, supportive. We're a small area, but a very supportive one. We have a range of undergraduate, bachelor, master's, and doctoral students, all in different stages of their artistic growth and all with different passions, and there's room for everyone. So it's a supportive, exciting, vibrant community and a supportive, vibrant, exciting city. So I'm happy to welcome any questions or anything anyone want to ask about coming up to Canada to study with us here at U of T.
I have some pre-sent in questions. But I don't want to step on anyone who might have one in the room. Someone asked, there it is, what do the degree requirements look like in terms of like recitals, written work, comprehensive exams? What's what's that look like from the student side?
Aubrey, do you want to grab it? You want me to grab it? What's your...
Well, I will say at the undergraduate level, and those are the programs that I am most familiar with, performance degree students will do a third and fourth year recital, which hold a fair bit of weight in their performance requirements. And Kevin, I'll let you
Yeah.
take the mic and speak
So
further.
there's
Yeah.
no required recital for non-performance students. All students get 4 years of lessons. Performance students have 4 years required lessons. Non-performance students, like students in interdisciplinary studies, have the option of 4 years of lessons, but only required to have two. There are no recitals required in non-performance students. And for graduate degrees, the master's is a 2 year program. There's the recital at the end of each year. Doctoral students have a 4 year, typically a 4 year program with two major degree recitals and one lecture recital, with the option of doing an additional one as well. So those are the performance requirements. In terms of comprehensive exams, there are no comprehensive exams at the bachelor's and master's level, but there are in the doctoral program.
You answered the next two questions I had in that. So thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please, anyone, just reach out to either Aubrey or me if you have questions about coming up and being up here with us in Canada.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We turn the floor to Brigham Young University, coming to us from Idaho. The floor is yours.
Very good. Thank you very much. My name is Daniel Kerr. I'm the Director of Organ Studies here at BYU, Idaho. I have David Jambov with me. He is my TA for the organ area and an undergraduate student. We are an undergraduate-only institution in Eastern Idaho. We are close to Yellowstone. We are close to Grand Teton National Parks. But otherwise, we are relatively in the middle of nowhere except potato fields. We are rather isolated, but Idaho Falls is close. Salt Lake, when we need to get to a big city, is our closest really big city. And we do a lot of work here with music and the organ. I'm going to share with you a web page that is we're getting very close to launching it, but it serves as a pretty good PowerPoint for what we offer here. The music department, we've got about 400 students. We have 23 full-time faculty. I am the specialist in organ, and I have an adjunct faculty member who helps me with students and the group classes. The school offers 4 degrees in music. 3 of them apply to organ. We have the Bachelor of Music in Organ Performance, the BM degree. This is a junior recital and a senior recital, 8 semesters of lessons, with 3 credits for most of those lessons, which require a lot of practice. It's the performance-oriented degree. We offer the BMA degree, the Bachelor of Musical Arts. Not many institutions offer this, but this requires 8 semesters of juried lessons. We also have 1 senior recital. There is a minor required, and ideally the minor is in some field that is outside of music, but related to what you might want to do in a performance career or a teaching career, so that you could be studying a foreign language, you could be studying history, you could be studying really anything else, along with a full complement of lessons and a senior recital. We also offer the BA in music. This is 4 semesters of juried lessons with no recital requirement, and there are a lot of elective options both in music and in the university at large, where you could take a minor or just assemble a bunch of classes that you are interested in. This is a great degree if you want to study organ, but go on to something like grad school in medicine or in law or journalism or something else. This is a great way to go. We also offer an music education degree, but there's not an organ component in that. I should take us next to our instruments. We have some wonderful performance instruments. The main instrument is a Ruffati instrument, 67 ranks, in the Ruth H. Barris Concert Hall. We like that the concert hall is named after the first organ instructor at the university many, many years ago. The console is by Rogers, 4 manuals. There are some digital voices from Rogers, but we have 67 ranks of pipes. We also have in the BYU Idaho Center, which is our large auditorium for devotionals, graduations, convocations, a 5-manual electronic instrument there that is from 2010, which is not many I think it's the only 5-manual instrument in Idaho. So it's great for practice. With the large instrument, we also have an instrument in the John Taylor Chapel. This is a 7-rank Rogers organ with many electronic voices added into that. We also have just up the street from us a church building that has a 3-manual Wix. This has 26 ranks and a few Rogers digital editions that are available for student use. We also have our studio and practice organs. We were particularly pleased with the new Schoenstein instrument, which you may have noticed had a write-up from the Schoenstein Company in the latest edition of the American Organist magazine. This is a 4-manual console. It is only 11 ranks. It fits in a rather small room, but the console is designed to mimic the layout of the Barris Concert Hall organ, so a student can practice in the studio and be practicing all the motions, the choreography, the pistons, everything matches the downstairs console. And that console was built to match what's in the BYU Idaho Center, so there's a lot of similarity there. Wonderful colors and possibilities in the Schoenstein instrument. It was just put in a few months ago. We also have a Bigelow tracker organ in a practice room, 6 ranks of instrument there. We have some other digital practice organs that are available for students. One is a Johannes with tracker action keyboards and two other three manual Rogers organs. And there are a few other various and sundry electronic organs around campus that are available for use and are used often. We also, I want to go to additional instruments because we do have a pedal clavichord that is in the same practice room actually as the Bigelow tracker instrument is. Great for developing a refined technique and learning to listen, learning to control the fine motor skills really well, both for feet and for hands. This came to us in 2023. It was built by Michael Kett O'Brien in Virginia, a copy of a Gerstenberg clavichord. And we have two continuo organs that are used with our Baroque ensemble. And there's this one here and this Bigelow tracker organ used with the Baroque ensemble and three harpsichords on campus. I think that covers our instruments. Student opportunities. Of course, we have student organ recitals pretty much every month that students are preparing for. We have weekly devotionals on campus. The BYU Idaho Center that has the 5 manual, that room seats 15,000 people. It's modeled on the conference center in Salt Lake City. And we have weekly devotional there. Students play both for the hymns, prelude and postlude music, and for the choir anthems. We have visiting guests for master classes. We have many opportunities to accompany choirs. We've got 6 choirs on campus. Most of them are using organ constantly. We have orchestras, concerto competitions that organists have been able to participate in. We have a hymn festival every year where we commission brand new hymn texts from anyone who cares to contribute. Our composition majors here in the university write the music, and then the organists take that music and we premiere them every March in a hymn festival. And we have a Baroque ensemble, and that group typically uses an organist or two to be on the harpsichord here in the center or the continuo organ off to the left. And we have a chapter of the AGO here on campus, the BYU Idaho chapter. So we've got those opportunities for students. And students play for graduation and the various college convocations. I keep thinking I'm done, and I scroll down and there's more. And we do study trips abroad also. We're in Utah often to see instruments around there. We go down to Southern California to see, I'm from there, so we see a lot of instruments there. And the department does every other year tour to Europe, where we take not only organists, but all kinds of majors to visit important cities in Europe. So I think that is pretty much what I have to present. And this comes back. So any questions from anyone?
Again, I have some pre-sent in questions, but I
All
don't
right.
step on anyone in the room. The first one that I'm thinking about is, what do like the financial aid scholarship look like for like organ or church music students?
We have scholarships available through the university. We can award quarter, half, three-quarter, or full tuition. We can also include the lesson fee in that because there's an additional fee for taking private lessons. So those are available through the university. The local chapter, we have our BYU Idaho chapter of AGO. We also have an Eastern Idaho AGO chapter, and that chapter administers other scholarship funds that individuals contribute to. So between those two funds, we can give awards to pretty much every student can get something. We can't give full scholarships to everybody, but every student gets some help based on their needs and circumstances. There are options.
And then one that keeps coming up is, is it a competitive field between the organ community, the student community? Is it collaborative? What's the vibe of the studio?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's pretty cooperative. I may let David weigh in because he's living it right now,
Sure,
right?
sure. Very collaborative, I'd say. The university as a whole really focuses on collaboration. So definitely, I mean, there's a healthy level of pushing each other to be the best we can, but very positive environment. I've definitely enjoyed it. So
Yeah. We are friends here. We have socials, we do things together, we support each other. because as I've heard earlier in the conference throughout this time, we want everyone to progress at their own level as fast as they can, but this is not competitive at all. We support everyone.
Well, thank you very much for your time here. Thank you,
Very
thank
good.
you.
Thank you very much.
And we turn the floor to Dordt. I hope I said that right. Dordt University. The floor is yours.
Yes, thank you very much. So, welcome everyone, and thanks for joining us. My name is Carrie Grunewald, and I'm the professor of organ and church music at Dordt University. And where is that, you might ask? And the answer is it's tucked in Northwest Iowa, in a rather small community, surrounded by a lot of agriculture. So it's quiet here, but I think the quietness is a good place to focus, actually. And we're a very tight-knit community. So I have a PowerPoint that I'm going to share with you all. Let's see here if I can figure that out. Okay, so my screen is being shared. I'm probably not on the right thing that I want you to see, but I will start my PowerPoint. Can you all see my PowerPoint now?
Yep, perfect.
Okay, fantastic. So here's a picture of our main instrument. Again, we're located in the northwest corner of Iowa. The largest nearby city is Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So we are tucked right in the corner, about 40 minutes from the Minnesota border and 40 minutes from the South Dakota border. We are a Christian university of about 2,000 students right now. And that's our central goal is to equip students for Christ-centered renewal in all aspects of contemporary life. So we see all areas of study through that lens of Christ. So here is our beautiful main organ in our auditorium, and it is a Cassavant built during the Brunsima era. So it's a tracker, 3 manuals, 57 ranks, and 37 stops. The degrees we offer here are a Bachelor of Arts in Organ Performance and Pedagogy, in Church Music, and then also in Music Education, and we also offer a General Music degree. So there is a close-up picture of the console from above. Here, it's a Cassavant that is very much in the North German Dutch tonal design. And so it is quite historic in terms of its tonal quality. It's a very high quality instrument, and it's very at home in North German repertoire, but it can play everything. It's quite eclectic. So that is our main instrument for all teaching and all performances. So a bit about our facilities here. We have, in addition to the organ you just saw, we have 3 practice instruments. 2 are also tracker instruments, another Cassavant and a Roy Redman organ. And we also have a Schlicker electro-pneumatic. We have 3 Steinway Model D pianos, which are all quite distinct in their tonal design. And we also have a Decker harpsichord. I don't have a great photo of our auditorium, but we have a large 1,600 seat auditorium where the main instrument is housed. And we are right now building a new, smaller 200 seat recital hall. And we are very eager for that to be completed. One of the perks that we have here in our program is we have a recital series, endowed recital series from our Professor Emerita of Organ, Dr. Joan Ringerwall. And so twice a year, we have the opportunity to invite significant, respected organists over. We just had Marco Dentome from the Netherlands, and we've had the list that you see there of reputable players and teachers. So every guest will present a recital and will also present a masterclass focused on a particular topic. So students really benefit from that interaction with the professional organists. There you see a picture of a hymn festival, and we have hymn festivals once every year with the auditorium organ in use, and they are mostly student-led. We've had a few guests come and lead them, but they're primarily student-led, so that's a really great opportunity for organ students. Some of the other parts of our program, we have organ study tours regularly, both regional and also abroad. So these photos are actually from our last organ study tour to the Netherlands 4 years ago. And the students got to play the organs you see there. And we are looking forward to another organ study tour next May. In between the international study tours, we try to take regional tours, maybe to Chicago or north into the Minneapolis Twin Cities region. So those happen frequently. We also have an annual hymn festival. The students have actually started hymn sings on our campus. So they come together and, each take a couple of hymns, and students come and sing hymns with our organ. We do have organ scholarships available, and I have their 2,000 to 6,000 annually. We also have, of course, academic scholarships through the university and other types of music scholarships. So that's a bit about Dordt University, located in Sioux Center, Iowa. So at this point, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and open it up to some questions.
If anyone in the room has some questions, I have the pre-sent in, but once again, I don't want to step on anybody's toes in here.
Do you have a Baroque emphasis? Is there an emphasis on the certain kind of music? You have the period organs.
Yeah, I would say we don't have a particular emphasis within all those degrees. In fact, because we're sort of a smaller institution, our students do a lot of diverse, electives. So they might sing in our choirs, they might accompany our choirs, but we don't have particular stylistic emphases.
Cool.
Anyone else?
Yeah, what does the lesson schedule look like? Someone was wondering if they're weekly, bi-weekly, is it flexible on performance schedules?
Good question. So the lessons are weekly, and then we also have studio class. Usually I schedule studio classes more towards the end of the semester, and they often are playing classes, but sometimes we'll explore a certain topic together. So studio classes are not every week, but usually the last half of the semester. But yeah, the lessons are weekly. And then, yeah, studio classes along with that.
We had sorry, I don't want to keep talking on some sent-ins, but someone was wondering what the internships or maybe assistantships at local churches might look like.
Absolutely. So some of our degrees have an internship requirement, and we have a lot of surrounding churches with pipe organs of different styles. And so we are quite a small community. So internships can be arranged either right here in Sioux Center or, within 30 minutes or so. And like I said, internships are required for some degrees and not required for all of our music degrees. But usually our students choose to get involved in a church and in the music. And so we can help facilitate that just because we're a relatively small community. So.
Awesome. Any other questions?
You may have said this, I was a little late, but how many students do you have?
Oh, thank you for asking. Right now, I actually have 21 organ students, which is the most I've had yet since starting here a few years ago. They are, of course, not all majors and minors, and many taking it as an elective.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you
Thank you very much.
for giving us the chance to have a peek in. And we look to St. Olaf College to head into the floor. The floor is yours.
Great. So I'm Catherine Rodland. I am one of the two organ professors at St. Olaf. St. Olaf is, of course, in Northfield, Minnesota, south of the Twin Cities. And we are probably best known for having the St. Olaf Choir, which is a robust touring organization. But we also have a really robust organ department. So I wanted to share screen and just talk a little bit about our activities. And so, see if I can do this correctly. Okay. So are y'all sort of seeing my main screen there? Okay, so St. Olaf, I'm going to go to the college website for a little bit just to talk a little bit about the college itself. We used to think that the music department, well, it does. Really, about half of the students at St. Olaf, which is a college of about 3,000, are involved in the music department, whether it's being in one of the choirs or in the orchestra or the band. You can see right here, our orchestra is about to go on tour. We have 7 choirs, 2 orchestras, 2 bands, 2 jazz bands, and many chamber ensembles. But what I'm most proud of is our church music program. And so we have 2 degrees at St. Olaf. We have the Bachelor of Arts degree, which is just your general music degree. And then we have the Bachelor of Music degree, and we have for organists 2 different degrees that you can earn, majors in organ performance and majors in church music. We also have a second church music degree that is choral, which has organ as its secondary instrument. And we have about 28 students now enrolled between all of those degrees in organ and church music. We have, oh, look at this, one of the performance studies actually has a picture of an organ with an organ shoe. So we have, let me see if I can get to the right presentation. We have a Holtkamp organ in our chapel. This organ went in 2007. And it is a rather large Holtkamp. We have a front organ and a back organ. I won't show you the complete specifications, but you get an idea of the size of that organ. And then we also have an organ in our teaching organ studio in Studio A. And Studio A is a 3-manual Dobson organ, and it is really where we have most of our lessons, and it's where we have our organ recitals for the most part, although we do have some organ in bow as well. So we recently had several of our students win competitions, and the school did an article on us, which we find really neat that our department was caring about that. And so we have one of our students, Abby, was interviewed for this, but talked about how St. Olaf was really the place where she could combine her academics and her organ. And I like to think that that's what makes us kind of special, is that we are a very, very competitive liberal arts college. So you get a lot of academics, but at the same time, you can also really hone in on that bachelor music degree and get a lot of practicing done. So our degrees, the organ performance degree and the church music degree have the same level of organ expectation. So you can't major in church music organ emphasis and be a lesser organist. It's just basically you do more when you study church music. So our organ degree expects, it has full hour lessons every week, and also expects a sophomore continuance recital, a junior recital, and a senior recital. And it requires participation in an ensemble. Most of our students are members of some of the choirs, which is required as part of the degree, as are 3 conducting classes and then classes in church music, and then vocal music, diction, etc. So our church music degree is a very strict and very full degree. So here is a picture of our current studio at the beginning of the year with myself and Professor Bob, who is my colleague here. And James Bob, we have been friends and have been compatriots since we were at Eastman together, and we teach together, and our studio classes meet weekly together. And so we basically are one big organ studio with 2 teachers. I currently have 17 students, and Jamie has 4 because his primary work is working with the Cantorai Choir and working in the chapel. But we have a very special group of students, and we have a good time. And there is another picture of our organ recital hall. That's Studio A, and you can see the 3 manual Dobson in the front. And one of the things we do that we thought was special, but it sounds like they do at Dordt College as well, is we take our students abroad every other year. And we have an enrichment fund which actually pays for this. And so we have this is a picture of our group, of course, at the famous Bach statue in Leipzig. And then there's one of our students playing the organ in Leipzig. So in 2024, we were in Germany. And here is our group at the Bow organ. This was a couple of years old. And here is our group preparing for an upcoming Pipe Screams concert. And so I think that's all the pictures I have. We are going to be taking a trip to Paris in May, and we're bringing 17 students on that trip for the study tour. So we'll be going to probably 5 or 6 organs in Paris and down to Poitiers. And so we like to think that what's special about St. Olaf is that you can study organ at a very, very high level, and our students do go on to major graduate degrees. We have students at Eastman, Curtis, Yale, and Rice right now. So our students do go on and go to these major schools. A lot of them will go out and get jobs. But what's unique about us is it's one of the few places where our students can play chapel. We have chapel every single day. They can get observed by their teachers and critiqued on their playing of hymns. They get more conducting, I think, than most other undergraduate schools, being able to take up to 4 semesters of conducting. And then the participation of watching all the different choir conductors. We have several church internships in the Twin Cities. One of our students is working as an assistant at Central Lutheran. We have another student working at a large congregation in one of the western suburbs of the cities. And we have 4 churches in town that are regularly staffed by our students. So that's all I have, but I'm sure you have some questions.
Anyone in the room have a question that jumps out at you? If not, I have some sent in. What is since you mentioned you have a faculty partner, what is the flexibility like to take lessons between the 2 of you, or maybe guest artists, other professors?
Well, we don't share students for the most part, but the way that I teach theory, I also teach advanced keyboard skills, and he teaches church music practicum, and he does sort of coaching in hymn playing and improvisation. And so if a student studies primary organ with me, at some point they're going to take church music classes with Jamie and probably some hymn playing classes with them. If they study organ with Jamie, they're going to probably take theory with me and advanced keyboard skills with me and organ pedagogy and literature with me. And so even though the way it works out, most of the students are on my half of the studio because my primary job is the teaching of organ and his is church music. But they have a lot of access to both of us, and we do get along.
Are you getting ready for your Christmas fest that comes every year?
Yeah, the Christmas festival will be the weekend after Thanksgiving. Yes. There's not a lot of organ presence in there because we do that down in our gym, and so we have to roll in the Allen organ. So it just plays on a few things.
Yeah. Thank you.
Someone asked, what what does the schedule look like for an organ major, and like how many solo recitals are typically played?
The required solo recitals come in the sophomore year for being allowed to continue in the degree, and then there's a full junior and a full senior recital. Now that's for the Bachelor of Music organ student. A Bachelor of Arts organ student will only play a senior recital. Schedule-wise, they have a full slate of usually 4 classes. Each of our classes is usually a single credit. And then one of those classes for Bachelor of Music is counted as the organ class.
Well, thank you very much for taking this time to share your program, give us a peek in. Thank you, thank you.
Great, thank you.
And our final in our breakout room today, last but certainly not least, the Cleveland Institute of Music. The floor is yours.
Thanks so much, Nick. Can you hear me okay? Super. Yeah. Well, thank you all. It's a pleasure to follow Kathy and my friends from St. Olaf over so many years. I have a lot of happy memories of that place. But my name is Todd Wilson. I've taught for 35 plus years at the Cleveland Institute of Music. And CIM, as we call it, is one of the small group of independent music conservatories in this country. It was founded just a little over 100 years ago. And we have currently about 450 full-time graduate and undergraduate students. So as I say, it is an independent school, but we have a very close collaboration. It's called a joint music program with the music department of Case Western Reserve University, and we're essentially all in the same neighborhood. So the CIM students have access to all the liberal arts courses and gen ed courses and the music history courses at Case, which is, of course, has about 17,000 students. So it's a really big university with a great many fun academic resources. And the Case students, in turn, study music theory and take private lessons and so on with the Cleveland Institute of Music faculty. So it's sort of it's a real win-win for students in schools. We also have a really close relationship, and have throughout the history of the school, with the Cleveland Orchestra. A lot of the Cleveland Orchestra first chair players and other performers in the orchestra teach at CIM, and that's been sort of a tradition for many, many decades. One of the really special things about CIM is it's located in an area of Cleveland called University Circle, where most of our cultural institutions are gathered all within sort of 1 square mile. I think it's the only example of that in the whole of the United States. So we have CIM, we have Severance Hall, where the Cleveland Orchestra plays. We have the Cleveland Museum of Art, which is one of the great art museums in the country, really. Cleveland Botanical Garden, the Museum of Natural History, all within a 5-minute walk. So it's a really quite extraordinary neighborhood that we get to live in and exist in. And we have our own dormitory that CIM owns that's just brand new, just opened 2 years ago. So it's a real state-of-the-art dorm in so many ways. It's a remarkable building. There are practice rooms in the dorm, so you can practice at 3 a.m. and it's really pretty terrific. I myself worn several hats between, which keeps my life very interesting, and I think maybe makes life interesting for my students as well. I hope it does anyway. I've, as I say, for a long time been head of the organ department at CIM, and just retired last year from many years as music director at Trinity Cathedral. Nowadays, I'm artist in residence at St. Paul's Episcopal Church in Cleveland Heights, which has one of the really iconic Walter Holtkamp Sr. organs. It's really a wonderful instrument, and I enjoy it a great deal. And I'm also the curator of the organ at Severance, which is a E.M. Skinner organ from 1931, and one of the really beautiful concert halls in this country. And of course, the Cleveland Orchestra is, I can't say enough good things about the Cleveland Orchestra. That's one of the great orchestras in the world by any stretch of by any measurement. So organ-wise, we usually have 6, 7, 8 majors at a time. So it's a small department, and we, really get to focus carefully on what we're doing. And I've always found that that's a good number in terms of our resources and time. And I like to give a lot of time to my students. So that tends to work well. We have every degree from bachelor's through DMA. And it really depends. People cycle through, and sometimes we have a lot of undergraduates. Lately, we've had several DMA people. Over the years I've been here, we tend to get a lot of folks for the master's degree. I'd say the huge majority of my students over the years have, for some reason, been master's degree students, but I don't know any particular reason for that. My big philosophy in terms of teaching is to, of course, sort of make you the most well-rounded human being you can be, the best musician you can be, and in practical terms, to make sure you have the skills to go out and succeed in obtaining the upper level church music jobs, like the top. I always think of sort of the top 10%, the really good jobs, where you can make good music, make a living, and find a lot of rewarding aspects, which is, I've found to be deeply rewarding. So I teach organ repertoire, choral repertoire, choral conducting, and a service playing / improvisation course. And all organ students, both undergrad and grad, take all those courses in the course of their time here. Cleveland is a super rich musical place, both in terms of church music and things much beyond that. But all of our students have either church jobs or churches where they serve as organ scholar or church music intern, we sometimes call it. But that's all part of that growing practical skills and getting a lot of real world experience, so that when you go out and have to suddenly start doing that yourself, you feel like you've got the tools to give it a good start. But we've got the Cleveland Orchestra 5 minutes down the road. We have fabulous early music in Cleveland nowadays. Cleveland Chamber Music Society puts on a lot of wonderful concerts. So it's a super rich musical city, and it's, unlike some bigger cities, it's really easy to live in, easy to get around, not super expensive. So it's very manageable in terms of a place to live. We do have 4 real seasons too. I was just thinking of that hearing Kathy's presentation at St. Olaf. They have 4 real seasons too, including winter up there. So our winter isn't quite so severe, but we get some snow. At CM, our main concert hall has just been totally renovated and it just opened to the public last week. So it is really thrilling, and we are hoping that within the next couple of years we're going to have a very significant organ in that concert hall. So I can't say too much in public about that, but it's looking more and more like that's going to happen, which is a very exciting prospect. So that gives you CIM in a nutshell. And I don't know if we have time for any questions, or you can tell me what we should do, Nick.
Yeah, we've got a minute or so for some questions. If anyone in the room has anything burning on their mind, feel free. If not, I've got a couple sent in.
Off subject a little bit. Movable dough school or fixed dough?
That's a really good question, John. For many, many years, it's been a fixed dose school. The theory department has had a lot of change in recent years. So I'm just a teeny bit hesitant to say that in an absolute way because I'm not really sure what the absolute current approach is. But for a long time, it was fixed dough.
Someone asked, where is the emphasis placed, performance versus coursework?
I would say both. I emphasize both, and you know how it is when you're those rare years when you're in school, you want to do as much as you possibly can. I always find that the repertoire you learn in those years is the basis and the core that you live off of for a long, long time afterwards. So you got to practice, you got to do all that, but of course you got classes to go to, and you do both. So I couldn't choose one over the other.
Thank you. Any last questions? Any last questions for the Cleveland Institute of Music as we wrap up here? Well, thank you. And
yes, indeed.
you can all feel free to make your way back before the rooms are closed against any of our power here. But thank you. So thank you for joining Breakout Room 4.
Yep.
You had some good times.
Yeah, thank you all. Thanks, Nick.